Hello there, and welcome to the Pint-Sized Healing Podcast. My name is Max Thompson. Let's get started. If we were to believe abusers and toxic people, then boundaries are the most selfish pursuit in the world. Personal boundaries should be outlawed, and anyone who even considers wanting to set some personal boundaries should be hanged for their crimes. But that's only abusers and toxic people. They do not accept or respect personal boundaries in any way, shape, or form. And moreover, they make their targets believe that setting personal boundaries is a horrible act of of a selfish nature. And most targets of abusers are people who are very empathic or even, somewhere on the codependency scale. And so people pleasing is often something that that we do to a degree at the very least. So we want to make the people around us happy, right? That's an innate drive that most people have, and especially people who are targeted by abusers. They're just the best snack for the abusive personality, I guess. But so we're trying to please the people around us, and these abusers have us believe that setting boundaries is the most selfish thing that we can do because, how dare you say no to someone? That's going to upset them. And so we say yes to things that we don't have the energy to do or that we don't have the desire to do just because we're trying to please other people. And we think that that will make them happy. But boundaries aren't selfish. Boundaries are what defines the shape that we want ourselves in our lives to be. Because boundaries are not just about saying no to social engagements or, requests to help your friend move in exchange for pizza. They are also about the things that we say yes to, the priorities that we set in our lives. It's about making the choice between going to a party or spending the night on the sofa with your partner because you know that that will make your partner happy, as opposed to that will make 20 people at the party happy for you attending, right? So, it allows us to create a world around us and a life for ourselves where we get what we expect or we get what we want from people, and by setting personal boundaries is how we communicate to the world, well, this is what we accept and this is how we want our lives to be, right? So we want 50 friends, or or we want 50 acquaintances to party with, or do we want 2 or 3 really good friends that know that they can count on you? Those are choices, and those are also part of boundaries, and the choices that you make, the priorities that you set for yourself. That's all part of what boundaries are. Boundaries aren't about selfishly saying no to things. Boundaries is about, I can't make it today because I am so tired and I have responsibilities to my family or to my employer that I need to prioritize over going out with my friend. And I can't do both because I don't have the energy to do both, right? That's setting a personal boundary. Is that a selfish thing? No, it's not. It's just you deciding what in that moment has priority in your life. So don't mistake boundaries for selfish behavior, because it's not. It's just deciding priorities, deciding the shape of you, deciding the shape of the world that you want to live in. And I think one of one of the threats that abusers give us when it comes to boundaries and how selfish they are is that they say as soon as you set boundaries, people will run away, right? Because people don't put up with that stuff. Well, the only people that don't put up with that stuff are probably abusers and toxic people because boundaries are a really normal, healthy part of life. And for me, at least, I know that when one of my friends calls me and says, "Do you know how we were going to have coffee today? Do you know what? I'm just so tired and I can't do it." I am actually happy that she trusts me enough to do that. She, um, that she is looking out for herself because I don't only want my friend. Listen, I love meeting my friend for coffee. That's not the issue. I'd love to, but I would rather she looks after herself so that she stays healthy and I have many options and many opportunities to have coffee with her, right? So I don't mind when people give me boundaries or prioritize other things in their lives because it makes me happy that they're looking after themselves. It makes me happy that they trust me with, it trust me to be vulnerable when they're telling me reasons or problems that they're facing, that are at the basis of them saying no. Those kind of things are also part of boundaries. What do I share? What do I not share? So, it makes, I think as well, it keeps things just, it just keeps things clear, right? I'd rather someone say, "I am tired and I can't meet you for coffee," than them pushing themselves, meeting me for coffee, being really grumpy, and not really telling me why they're grumpy. Because, I might start thinking, did I say something? Did I do something? Right? Rather than just, I was tired and I shouldn't have went out. It's so much clearer when we just state our boundaries, communicate our boundaries. Anyway, I hope that helps a little bit to think about boundaries in a slightly different way because the one thing that you really have to learn about boundaries in the kind of post abuse world, I think, is that boundaries are not, they are just not selfish. They are simply you defining who you are in the world, in your world, and who you want to be, what your priorities are, what you want to explore, what you don't want to explore. It's yes and no. And it is entirely your prerogative to decide which your yeses are going to be and which your nos are going to be, right? Okay, I'll see you next week when we're going to talk about boundaries more. Yay! See you then. Bye.